Deputy Catherine Connolly, sharing with two colleagues.
Three and four. Yeah, very much. Minister, if you don't mind, I'll pick up where I left off and use this as one debate. And I want to thank Sinn Féin for the very practical motion, and we couldn't but support it. And I welcome the fact that you're supporting it as well and not opposing it. But this has happened many, many times with many motions. And I want to return, while acknowledging your bona fides, I sometimes despair here in relation to words. And Aisling Murphy is dead, and her name Aisling means dream or vision. And I think the greatest tribute we could leave to her is to make the dream of zero tolerance for violence a reality. That would be indeed a real legacy, and also to give meaning to words. And so when we look at what's happened, because we've stood up here many times, and I make no apology for doing that, but one tires of it, and one tires of the responses over and over again. And so when we asked last year, where was the audit in relation to extra spaces for refugees, we were told it was going to be published shortly, September, October, and we're now in January, nearly in February. You've given us no reason why that wasn't published. The audit in relation to how sexual and domestic violence is treated in the various departments was published last year, and I thank you for that, and it shows that it was utterly fragmented. It also points out that the sexual strategy, the second strategy, and we're now waiting on the third, they made some very interesting points about that. They said that the monitoring committee, according to the audit, oversight responsibility is held by a largely inactive interdepartmental senior officials group, which is nominally accountable to the Cabinet. They make many other points in relation to gaps in knowledge and so on, and they point out that a disconnection between intended and actual action, so a disconnection, and raised questions about what is blocking progress and how it can be addressed. So I've looked at all of this, and I've pointed out to this back in 1997, following the fantastic work of Women's Aid. They made recommendations, particularly in relation to prevention, particularly working with perpetrators and so on. 26 years later, we're still talking about it. We've had the murders that we've mentioned of the various women from 1996 and many more, and we're barely touching it, Minister. So forgive me for my cynicism in relation to this. And you know I've spoken continuously since February 16 and demanded and asked and appealed and almost begged for a review of the Savvy report. 20 years later, we're still talking about it. I know it's coming. It was after extraordinary pressure from this mixed stall. So when we talk about a seminal moment or a turning moment, let's go back to Manuela Rido, and let's look at the programme that they did with the Rape Crisis Centre under the Manuela Rido Foundation, and let's integrate it into the schools. If you do nothing else after tonight, read the Manuela Rido Foundation in collaboration with the Rape Crisis Centre. I have no time left to go through it, but I will speak to you any time about that. That would be one practical way. Thank you.